All right, episode 66 of the Pop Culture Podcast begins right now. Hello, everybody. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Doing all right. Got some sunburn.
Yeah, you got a little sunburn. It was pretty nice weather out here in southeast Wisconsin.
These guys don't get to see the sun, though.
I was going to say, yeah, these guys probably don't get to see the sun very much. Is that true?
Try not to.
Try not to? Nice. I know Mike doesn't.
We're locked in a prep room all day and all night.
Yeah, there you go. Of course, Mike the Mortician, Dr. Death himself, probably just got demonetized for using that word, but that's all right.
Probably get sued by somebody.
Probably, yeah. This video is gone. Thanks. And Chad, a new person. Chad, introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Chad. I'm a mortician as well. I work out of Menominee Falls, marathon runner, trying to stay busy. Also working like 80 plus hours a week, so I don't get much time to like do things, but yeah, I'm glad to have you.
Nice. Did you say you're a marathon runner?
I am.
Chad, do you run marathons because you secretly dislike your job and you're just trying to get away from it?
Slightly, but no, it keeps me active. It keeps me busy. This obviously being a mortician, is a lot of work and requires a lot of being fit. So trying to stay busy.
Well, you got to be fit to be a mortician.
I wouldn't think that. I think like the old-fashioned mortician with the top hat, gaunt, couldn't lift a bag of flour.
Wearing the black fedora.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Do any of you have a black fedora? Now I have to know.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted one.
Oh, okay. All right. I should have two, so I don't know who I am to talk. Whatever, we won't go there. That's fascinating. I don't think I've ever heard of a mortician being a marathon runner. I can imagine the mental fortitude that you have to push yourself to do a marathon.
It is a lot.
When you run marathons, do they let you listen to music or?
Yeah. I usually just throw on my AirPods and go to town.
Do you have a go-to playlist for marathon running?
Usually heavy metal.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of motivates you to push yourself. I don't know.
Getting yelled at violently by some dude.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of heavy metal in my gym playlist, so I get it. But, very cool. Mike, have you ever run a marathon?
Hell no. The longest I've done was 3 miles.
It's probably longer than I have. It's longer than I have. No, but Mike, you're a boxer.
Yeah, but we only did like 3-minute or 3-mile runs. Yeah.
Boxing?
Well, in boxing for the training, we like our.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like incorporating boxing and running, which that could be awesome.
Yeah. No, a lot of
that's another fit. Dr. Death, what do you do to stay fit?
Not a thing.
Just natural.
I golf, play a little softball. That's about it. I don't need to stay fit. I'm too close to retirement.
See, that's the mortician that I envision in my head.
When you retire, do I get to embalm all your bodies?
Have at it.
All right.
You can start with the boss.
Yeah.
Start with him when he's alive.
Do you guys have like certain morticians you'd want to take care of your body after your passing?
Huh.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that won't be possible. I wouldn't mind doing you, Mike. I can
You
make
wanna
you look
embalm
better.
me?
Yeah, I embalm you. I make you look better than you are.
Well,
I mean, I definitely would too. I'm pretty much like a master at the baseball stitch, but mine would definitely be my cousin. Kind of like family business.
Okay. Who's the most famous mortician of all time?
the famous one?
Yeah, do you guys have
Wow.
models?
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
any famous ones.
Who's the Babe Ruth of morticians?
Yeah.
Mike.
Who is the mortician every mortician aspires to?
I think
Come on, you guys have to have like a trade magazine.
What's the guy's name? Adams? Mike, what's his name?
Adam.
Don Adams? What's the guy
Oh,
from
John
Dodge?
Adams. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
But I would beg to differ because I like the guy from Phantasm because I like how he like lifted
Ooh.
the casket out of the hearse by himself.
By himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the tall man. Mike's talking about the tall man. Angus Scrim passed away a few years ago. Very
Yeah.
nice, very nice
For
man.
being like 70 and carrying a casket with a body in it by himself with nobody around, that was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that was quite a real casket, but
Nope, it was real.
it sure
Well,
looked realistic.
There was a stunt double in the casket too.
It's just paper mache.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you guys have got to have like role models. You have like trade magazines, like Morticians
Oh,
Week
sure.
or something like
Yeah.
that. There's got to be like famous people that they talk about.
Morticians
Dude.
Illustrated?
Let
Look
me guess,
at-
6 Feet Under. Boom, that's a magazine for morticians, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a very good show.
I was gonna say, yeah, there was a show. I never saw the show, but
I mean, it wasn't very realistic, I don't think.
it wasn't. Were they? Do you think they were going for realism? Just not give.
It's a TV show.
Yeah.
They
What is
kinda
that? What does that mean?
sensationalize-
What does that mean, Mike? It's all real
Yeah.
on TV, isn't it?
It means that we're a whole lot more boring than they show on TV.
Oh.
Nothing ever happens.
Look at. I mean, Kanye got his own series, didn't he? Didn't Kanye get
Well,
a
you
series?
have like dead bodies coming in. That's something happening. If that happened at my job, I'd be a little freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Nothing happens. They rolled 3 dead bodies in. That's something, dude.
no, it would be something if the dead bodies would get up and walk out of the business. But when they
Yeah.
come in, that's
Ooh.
nothing.
What would you do if a body got up? Do you immediately go for the
Leave.
brains
Leave.
Yeah.
Don't you have a 1-800 number you're supposed to call?
on the side of the?
No, leave quickly.
Yeah. I know. I had a late night removal the other night, and I slept at the funeral home. I was like 10 feet from the casket. Didn't bother me.
Do you think
So
you guys?
I have a question for Mike and Dr. Death, both morticians. Have you guys ever came across a situation where, you know, you're transporting a body in the cot, but like you keep on checking your rear view mirror and like you're just terrified that they're just gonna be like standing there, like in the mirror?
No, but I always worry about the
Oh.
back hatch popping open and like the cot bouncing out.
Yeah, the
Like,
door's not latched, and the cot goes sliding out the back door.
oh my god, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
I've done it with flowers. I've never did it with a body.
Do you think you guys have the skills to survive in a zombie apocalypse? How long would you last in the Walking Dead world against zombies, knowing what you know in the mortuary arts? How long would you survive?
Shit,
10
probably an
seconds for
hour
me.
because
Mike, you wouldn't have anything. Don't zombies go after brains?
Oof.
Boom.
Oh. Gotcha.
all right,
That's
gloves
why
are
he can
coming
last
off.
an hour.
So, Chad, you're new here, and the question that I asked the other two guys, what's the gnarliest kind of scene you've ever been called out to? Does the medical examiner ever just call the morticians or like, fuck this, this isn't coming back to the office with us?
It's a good question. Probably the worst one was it was a 300-pound guy. He was on the second floor. He was extremely jaundiced and he had a lot of like purge coming out of his mouth, which was absolutely disgusting. And there was only 2 of us, and I was with like a new apprentice who was like super young. So yeah, we had to literally drag him down the stairs, and the family was watching, which was gross. But yeah,
You didn't
typically
do a Stanley from The Office and just put the
Pretty much.
cardboard on the stairs and slide down?
Have done that. Have done that.
Yeah.
Have done that. A little sled right down the steps.
Wow.
And I've also done the head bounce. You kind
Oh,
of just
geez.
drag the body, and the head bounces on each step going down.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just
Just
toss
make
it
sure
out
the
the window.
family's not there.
Yeah, was the family watching?
Not when I did it. No.
So when those people on like My 600-Pound Life, when they die, like say they die on the 3rd floor, how would you get a body like that out? Is it like a
Call a
gurney? You
different
can
funeral home.
just a gurney you can swing out, or a crane from outside the window?
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be all manpower. We'd have to get like at least like 5-6 guys and just
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had ones where
More.
you're like,
Just-
yeah. I've heard of cases where they actually like called the fire department and had to like take down like walls and things like that to get people out.
In theory, couldn't you just cut the body up, like cut the arms off, the legs off, and
That takes more
quarter
time
it.
than you'd realize.
yeah, quarter
Like
it
a
Unless you got
horse.
a
pieces.
unless you got a chainsaw.
Yeah,
but
no, they mentioned in school that we're not allowed to do that.
with
Not
family's
allowed to.
permission, you could probably get away with it.
Yeah, the family says,
We-
I don't care.
I don't know what you guys use, but we used a company. It's called Davis. They do the removals for the medical examiner in Milwaukee. They
Oh,
picked up a
don't do a
500.
very good job. I tell
They
you that from
picked up
experience.
a 500-pound guy for us. 2 guys.
Huh.
2 guys. Picked him right
Wow.
up, brought him right to the funeral home. Paid him in cash. Worked out really well for me.
Yeah, that's awesome though that they did that.
Yeah, I don't touch 500-pounders.
Yeah.
It's not worth the back.
Well, apparently they can't pick up little pieces of brain tissue because I had to clean that off the concrete at my former job, my former location. Did I ever tell you that story, Mike? Either Mike.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
but,
think so. I don't
I was
remember that
working-
one.
I was working retail. This was many years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, many years ago. And there was a murder that took place right out in front of where I was working. Guy was just shot numerous times, in the body and the head. That makes a mess, especially with the caliber of the bullet that was being used. And my boss just said, medical examiner came, took the body away, left little pieces of the guy behind, gelatinous ooze and chunks of stuff. And my boss is just like, yeah, just hose it off into the grass. The animals will get it.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
I've seen the police officers do that at a
Yeah.
accident scene.
Yeah.
They hose the stuff down into the sewer system, into the gutters.
Yep.
Because they don't want people walking across it or seeing it. Because you got a lot of, I'll call them bystanders, gawkers. You don't want them going over there to get a souvenir. So just get rid of it. I don't think they use oil dry. Basically, it's hosed down. That's what they do at
Yeah.
accident scenes.
Yeah. Did you know that when Johnny Versace, this is totally random, but when Johnny Versace was shot and they were bringing his body out, people ran up to the body and like dipped things in the blood. So
Oh,
Why?
I don't know. You just talking about gawkers. People were doing that, and people were selling it on like you can buy it on eBay. It's like super
Yow.
expensive.
I mean, call me young, but who the hell is that guy? I've never heard of him.
Versace was like a huge fashion designer back in the 80s. I think when he was killed.
Okay.
Mid 90s he was killed.
you've heard of Versace, right?
Versace's
the
a
brand?
real
Like
name
Gucci.
brand.
It's like Gucci. Yeah, real high
Girls love that stuff.
fashion stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long before I was born.
So do you guys ever get like mortuary collectors or like collectors of the macabre that want to buy your used equipment?
Ooh.
I've had people call me up around Halloween that want to rent some of the stuff, but I've never had a collector.
Did you let him rent some stuff?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Only Mike. We'll let Mike use it, but nobody else.
Because that mortuary equipment that's huge in like the oddities market. So
Well, there's that museum down in Houston. You ever hear the funeral directors museum down there?
yeah.
It's supposed to be pretty neat.
Yeah, I just saw a video they put out on YouTube about was it Princess Kelly? Her hearse is on display there.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks like a cool place to go.
Bucket list item.
Is it really? I can imagine.
For us, maybe.
Yeah. How long have you been a mortician again?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
35 years.
You don't have to date yourself or anything like that. That's all right.
I'm 58.
All right. Well, I just turned 50, so I'm
I'm proud of being 58. I'm still walking the planet at 58. I'm proud of it.
There you go.
So, no problem.
There's that news story for you about Halloween, Chris.
Let me check that out. Oh my God. Yeah.
Did you?
Oh,
Okay,
this is
so-
a news story? Oh shoot, I gotta turn my ad block off.
Yeah, it's a real news story.
I
And this is what I mean. Speaking of weird requests for morticians, is this legal? This guy actually committed suicide, but he was mistaken for Halloween decorations and was in there for 3 days. But is there any way you guys would allow me, like if I died around Halloween, to just let me be in my yard for Halloween night, hanging there?
I guess that's up to your family.
Yeah.
Well, if they're all cool with it.
If they don't call us, we don't know you're dead.
I suppose.
You know, I guess they could hang you anywhere they want. You know, any kind of decoration you could be.
So it is corpse mistaken for Halloween decoration. The apparent suicide of a woman whose body was found hanging from a tree went unreported for hours because witnesses thought the body was Halloween decoration. Do they have a picture of it?
No, I don't think they do. But, you know, the suburbs, like where I live, some people get pretty crazy with their Halloween decorations. I can see how this could be mistaken.
The body, suspended about 15 feet above ground, could easily be seen from passing vehicles.
Yeah. Well, if it's Halloween time and you're going through the suburbs, you don't call, you just assume, right?
How would you be able to tell unless you were right up next to the body, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that story? Who is it? Elmer McIntyre? That he had his corpse was in a funhouse for decades before they finally realized that it was an actual body.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was this Old West outlaw that he was hung or he was shot. He was killed somehow. He was killed, and I guess the mortician like filled him with so much whatever formaldehyde, whatever mix he had, and that preserved his body for years. And he was in a funhouse, like a carnival funhouse for years. Nobody thought he was real.
Oh wow!
Never heard of that one.
No. Yeah, Elmer McIntyre. That's his name, Elmer McIntyre.
Elmer McIntyre. Well, what happens to a body that's left out, even though it's full of formaldehyde?
I mean, it eventually decomposes.
Yeah. It'll dry out first, too. The elements will dry it out real fast.
Okay. So then it would look like probably a funhouse decoration?
Could. I mean, it wouldn't look human, maybe.
Would it smell, though, or would that all be taken care of with the formaldehyde?
I think it would smell.
There's got to be a little bit of odor to it, I would think.
I don't think terribly, though.
I guess it depends on the embalmer and what is inside the guy.
And if they aspirated it correctly and everything.
Well, you said this was a long time ago, right, Chris?
Yeah, he was killed in the 1860s and finally
So whatever they had
1970s.
for Civil War time.
1860s, weren't they using like arsenic back then?
Arsenic, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Some really harsh chemicals.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy could have been as stiff as a board and he'd last for 100 years.
Yeah. Oh. Well, Chris, you got another story for him?
Yeah, I'm looking up a couple right now. We talk about, let's talk about this. The mystery item the woman found in her kitchen.
Yeah, I needed help with this. Nobody can figure it out. So you guys are going to have to look at that.
So she's baffling thousands of people because she has no idea what this is. It's behind her stove.
Her landlord installed it behind the stove. What could that be for? Any idea? Because it's not like holding spices or anything.
Double stack toilet paper roll? I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
Mystery. That's a mystery.
Yeah, no clue.
Nope.
No one does. Not even the internet came up with what the hell that was.
Huh.
All right, here's another interesting story. American sperm donor reveals that he will soon be a father of 55 children after a donation tour of Europe where he impregnated 3 British women. Do you guys ever get like a request from somebody to like save their sperm?
Oh,
Or because apparently, according to the internet, sperm survives up to 3 days inside of a woman's vagina. So, how long does sperm survive after death?
Longer than in a vagina.
It's true. I don't know.
I guess that would be an internet question. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought of that, but I just thought about that.
I know it survives 200 years in the vacuum of space.
Really? 200 years?
Yeah, and 3 days in a vagina. What? Does that tell you how dangerous that place is?
Interesting.
Yeah. What I thought about, or was funny about this guy, he gives away sperm, but he says like 10% of the time the chicks are just like, this is weird. Would you mind just banging me? He's like, okay.
wow.
Oh, just the old-fashioned way.
I mean, the
Yeah.
thing is, though, can you even get erect if you're dead? Because obviously there's no blood flowing.
That's another question that we had. We got an answer. Was that last week? Did we get an answer for that? Yeah,
Yeah,
last
it has to do with the pressure because you're going down the artery, so you're putting pressure in the body, in the arteries and the veins and the capillaries, and you know if there's enough pressure, you can get erection.
Yeah, you can do it, but I wouldn't open up the vein. I would keep everything. I'd keep the pressure up if you wanted to try to do that. Don't let any blood flow come out of the body.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
I
don't know.
guess
I
if the
guess-
family
I guess-
wanted your loved one embalmed like that, I guess it'd be worth trying. Be kind of awkward in the casket,
I want him to
having
have
a
a
little fuck
full-on
tent there and trying to
boner.
explain that to grandma.
And so it would embalm erect?
Yeah, it would.
No shit.
It would.
Whoa.
I've had it happen embalming, but it without the constant pressure, it kind of dissipates.
Okay.
Then you can
But
pump it up
does
again?
happen. Pardon me?
Then you can pump it up again? You can mess with somebody?
Oh, I don't think that would be a problem. I mean, I guess if you were a funeral director and you wanted to do that, you could use direct hypo to do it. I got some stuff I could stick into a needle and that thing could stay like that for 100 years.
You talking about tissue building?
Yeah, tissue builder or any high index fluid.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a problem. It would firm up to make your wife proud, I guess. I don't know.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure somebody at some point wanted a full-on raging boner during their funeral.
I'm sure it happened before too.
Yeah.
He was probably not in Milwaukee, but
Oh, yeah, I would. I'm
California?
thinking about it. I didn't know it was an option, if you should list that as an option. Like,
I need
hey,
to charge
just to
extra
let
for
you know.
that one.
Yeah,
I
but people will
completely
pay
agree.
it.
Put that
They'll
in
be
a
like,
General
I can
price
have an
I'm gonna add
eternal-
that.
an eternal boner.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how I want to be buried.
That's better
Definitely.
than 4-hour Viagra, let me tell you.
Yeah, this is till the end of time.
Time, yep. And you don't have to go to the ER to have it taken care of. It'll stay forever. Got nothing to worry about.
Yes.
See?
That's how I want, like, 1,000-year archaeologists to find me.
With a raging boner.
Yeah,
Look at this
mummy,
guy.
Mummy in the casket.
I want to be in a museum somewhere.
Yeah.
Some future museum.
There is a penis museum.
No.
I think it's in Finland. There's a documentary called The Final Member, where this guy that owned a penis museum in Finland or Sweden, some Scandinavian country, but he had the penis of just every male species on the planet, except for one. He did not have a male penis. So these two different guys emailed him and said, hey, you can have my penis. I'm going to die soon, so you can have mine. And these two guys were like competing who's going to die first to be able to donate his penis to the Museum of Penises.
Oh.
It was an interesting documentary.
I'll pass on that museum.
But if you ever need to visit the Museum of Penises, there is one.
Yeah, don't they have Rasputins?
They might.
It's like enormous.
Well, I don't think they do. I think that's in a private collection.
Private collection.
You should Google that and take a look at that monster dong that Rasputin was swinging.
Yeah, he He was a proud man. I have seen pictures. I don't know. You're advocating for people to look up pictures of Rasputin's penis.
Dude, it's like 13 inches in the jar.
Yeah, well, I think that it probably got inflamed a little bit with all those chemicals.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's only so much. I'd have to lift it to see if it's hollow.
Tom, you go for it. You go ahead and lift it.
It's got the girth of a
It'd be the
baby
same
arm.
weight. Yeah.
And when you lift it, send a picture, will you, please?
Oh, this shit weighs nothing.
Yeah. Whoa.
Mystery solved. It's like a Cheeto.
It's crazy.
So the pacemakers, I heard those things can explode. You guys got to take those out?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they explode?
Batteries?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the lithium battery.
The lithium batteries inside of them. I don't know what to do with them once you take them out, though.
What's this? What do you get for
It
scrap?
goes on eBay?
No, scrapyard, right?
Scrapyard?
I don't know. What do you guys do with them?
So all I know is we just put them in this like the hazardous like waste material, and I don't know.
Right.
Like
That's what I do too. But the hazardous waste gets burned, they explode in there.
oh
I don't get it.
yeah, I don't know.
So
That's a
I
good
know
question.
there are some. I've heard there are companies that take the old pacemakers, they recycle them and send them to third world countries
Oh,
because
okay.
you can't use them again in this country.
You can sell them. U.S. market pacemakers can sell for about $5,000. You guys are just throwing money.
Oh man,
away.
I'm throwing money down the drain.
Some people are saying between 2,500 and 3,000.
I'll
But-
take $100 a piece. I'm not greedy.
Can you buy a used pacemaker?
So if you guys have a cremation, do you and once you remove the pacemaker, do you guys like sew them back up, or do you just leave them open if it's going to be a cremation?
I always sew them back up. Just for,
You guys do? Okay.
Yeah.
If it's a direct, no, I don't sew them back up. I just leave them
Okay.
open.
Okay, so it says pacemakers can be reused if approved. They got to be just inspected again, and then you can reuse them.
We're missing out on a lot of money, guys.
Yeah, that's.
You should have kept a big 50-gallon drum of pacemakers over the years.
Literally.
You know,
I
I,
mean, if
tried
you're
to
getting
sell
$5
hearing
grand a
aids.
piece,
You
how
can't
many
sell
do you
hearing
think
aids on
you've-
eBay. You know, a lot of dead people
Why
have
not?
hearing aids in. You can't sell them on eBay.
Yeah.
They have to be certified for something. I figured, you know, those hearing aids are thousands of dollars too. You
Yeah.
can't sell a used hearing aid.
You guys, you go to the nursing home or Del Boca Vista senior community and sell them out of a trench coat, pacemakers and hearing aids.
Yeah, and Rasputin.
Yeah.
You know, just bring him with us.
Oh, yes. What's the weirdest cultural thing you've done to a body? Lori would like to know.
Wow.
People want to remove fingernails and toenails, which I thought was odd, but I'm not sure it was just a cultural thing or if they just wanted it for a keepsake or.
I don't think I've ever done anything cultural. Some cultures like to push the button on the crematory. Have you ever had that happen?
I've heard that
Like-
like certain
Like
places
Buddhist,
allow that,
things
but
like that. Yeah, certain religions want to start the crematory and watch their loved one burn.
They do,
Whoa.
but it's usually like they literally like it's actually like really like a beautiful thing. But they press it or they load the body, they press it, and then they're gone within like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
I mean,
What if
they get out of there
you,
pretty quickly. But I know cremation required or they do it like we have to do it within a certain amount of time. Like I know it wasn't cremation, but I did a Jewish funeral not too long ago. I picked up a Jewish gentleman, and he the family required that I buried him within like 2 days. So that's always
Oh yeah,
a headache,
definitely.
but-
Because you couldn't embalm them.
right.
Did you have to save any of the blood?
No, so we actually did a
Okay.
trade call on that one.
Okay.
So, because I mean, obviously there's certain rituals, certain chemicals that they have to use, and we're just not equipped for that. And so but they're doing our their like reception at our funeral home, but we ended up convincing her to do a trade call. It was crazy.
Now I got a buddy that works in Madison. They have a crematory there with a viewing room that they've actually set up for families that can sit there and watch the cremation. They've set it up specifically for families that want to be there.
What about enemies that just want to see me burn and sift through my ashes to make sure there's no life anywhere in there?
I'm sure we could arrange it for the right price.
I want to watch this son of a bitch burn.
Do you guys ever get weird funerals like this where people want to be posed in different positions?
Yeah.
No, but I asked about that at work and how you would go about embalming somebody that wanted to be in like a sitting position. And the mortician was saying that you'd have to basically embalm them in that position.
Actually, Mike, what I would think I would do is you use a slow firming
Slow.
fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you embalm him normally on the table like you would. Once he's finished, sewed up, aspirated, and things like that, take him off the table, put him in a chair, and let him firm up in the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I would do.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Knows. Spreading his wisdom before he calls it quits.
Yeah. I you know what? I've wanted to try to do that for many years, is embalm somebody in a different position. I would assume you'd have to get the family's permission, written signature, to do something like that.
I'm going to a Bengals concert. You mind if I
walk like a mortician?
Yeah.
Weird Al's best song.
There was this story just came out. This rapper that was killed wanted his funeral at a nightclub. They wanted him just propped up,
standing there.
Nightclub. Yeah.
So there's something in the chat. They said I have no idea. Can you? I mean, obviously you could, right?
That would be a weird one. I don't. Yes, I can embalm.
Isn't that just taxidermy?
No, it's beyond taxidermy. Taxidermy, they just skin the person. They
skin.
The skin over a form.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually probably depends on what the pet is. I don't think I could embalm a gerbil, but a dog, a good sized dog, or a cat. I doubt it.
I mean, would we still use like Plazo and like Introvert and stuff?
Sure. With animals with the fur, you wouldn't see anything. You don't have to use anything with a lot of dye. Firm them up. Use the same exact arteries you'd use on a human. You'd go in through the neck and look for the carotid on an animal.
Okay.
And you've got the fur to cover up your incision. It wouldn't be very hard.
Interesting.
But it's beyond taxidermy.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, they freeze dry animals too now. If you want little fluffy freeze dried, you can get them freeze dried and set in that position.
Interesting.
Huh. Remember
I've never done an animal, but I'd like to try.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be, and I someday I'll get a chance right before I quit, so I can't have anything happen to me at work.
Yeah, your last day, you should just come in with a trailer bed of dead animals to play.
Yeah, pick up a raccoon on the side of the street.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll do roadkill. It might be like beyond saving. I was gonna do Dan's rabbit. I decided not to.
Yeah, you don't want to start on you got to start on the roadkill so you get good.
That's true. Yeah,
slowly work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when my dog died, I thought of embalming it, but I just didn't have the heart to do it.
Yeah, it's easier with someone else's dog.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the story that you sent me today, Tom. This Arizona man accused of having 183 dead animals inside a freezer.
Why?
That's a lot of dead animals.
That is just a bad hoarding sickness.
Why? Yeah, why?
And I was telling Tom, I said, my ex-brother-in-law, when he went through a divorce with my sister, he started collecting roadkill. He had hundreds of dead animals, like dead cats, dead dogs out in these 2 refrigerators. He moved out, the power got turned off, and during a hot summer, all
Oh
those dead
my.
animals were inside closed refrigerators.
Oh,
Eventually, they just blew up and just blew the refrigerators right up, and there was just, you can imagine what kind of sight that was.
Ooh. That's got to be
he
a
looks a
hoarding
little
sickness.
psycho.
Yeah.
It is definitely a hoarding. My brother-in-law was not right in the head, so he was a hoarder.
Hoarding dead animals.
Yeah, whenever he would find a dead animal in the road, he'd put it back together.
Yeah, but why not like bury it or?
I guess you wouldn't be hoarding it if you buried it. You want to have it in your possession. If you buried it, you don't have it.
I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, look at Jeffrey Dahmer. He wanted to keep pieces, so people just
He kept souvenirs, is what he
block
kept.
pieces.
He kept souvenirs.
Yeah. Nice memory of what I did.
What'd you do, Tom?
No, that's what Jeffrey Dahmer is. You know,
Oh.
that's why you keep souvenirs so you
I
don't forget.
thought you were admitting to something.
Not yet.
I was gonna have a scoop. Thanks for that. So how's business? Have you guys had any gnarly looking corpses lately? Pretty much just run of the mill corpses.
Gnarly looking corpses.
Only before they get embalmed.
Yeah.
The worst one I had was a gentleman put a shotgun to his mouth and
Ooh.
did it. And yeah, so I picked him up from the I think it was the Waukesha ME, and we had to completely reconstruct his skull, and it was bad. He was only like 23 too, but it was the biggest service I've ever seen in my entire life.
Open casket or closed?
Open, actually.
Nice.
How did that happen? How did you?
I don't know, honestly. So the family requested it. So yeah, we reconstruct a skull. Obviously, with an autopsy, they remove the back of your cranium and you put the bolts in and everything. I mean, he actually looked like nothing happened afterwards. I worked with one of the best embalmers in my company, and it was like a 3.5 hour embalming, but the family was pleased, so that's all that matters, I guess.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, suicides are always the worst. I mean, like, if you ever think about, going out that way, you gotta kind of realize, your family's gonna see you like that, I hate suicides. Autopsies are disgusting.
What about tissue donation?
Tissue donation is probably the most disgusting thing. It's absolute mutilation.
Yep.
I guarantee you that there's not a single funeral director in the United States that is a donor.
Why not?
What's that?
Why not? What do they do that's so?
So it's pretty much grabbing like a cheese grater and grinding down your back and skinning you, and then they replace they remove your bones in your legs, and they replace it with PVC pipe, and it's just absolute mutilation. They cut you from your right underneath your clavicle all the way down to about like the tip of your penis, just rip and remove everything. It's just gruesome. I would never want any of my family members to go through that, or anybody. But yeah, it's literally like a cheese grater. Like you like Mike and Doctor, you guys like obviously seen those things.
It's so much fun when they do it off the back of the body because there's no way to embalm the back when it's laying on there. You almost need 3 funeral directors to actually treat it. They do a number when they do that, and I still don't know what they use all those donations for.
I heard it was just for plastic surgery.
Yeah, I don't know what they use them for. They take the bones out. They take most of the skin.
It would be nice to know exactly what it goes for, because then you can make a more educated, decision on, is this something I want, or is this,
Yes.
I think it's for dog food and cosmetics. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the skin probably for grafts, people that are burned fires, skin grafts, things like that. I don't know how long that stuff is viable to use.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be like really, really well like moisturized and treated. But I do know with bones, they do it with dental implants too.
Okay.
But it's just absolute mutilation. You get one of those bodies, and you just feel bad for the person.
Yeah.
Oof.
Because they had no clue what goes into it.
I don't think the transplant people or the people that are doing the harvesting tell the families what's involved.
Yeah.
Because they
No.
basically, you can see the hands and you can see the head and the face. Everything else looks like garbage.
Mm-hmm. And
that's all that matters in the casket.
And the place who's harvesting makes a shit ton of money on it. It's unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like over $100,000 a body.
Yeah,
And
I'm
all
in the
they
wrong
do is
business.
send the family a little memorial or like little like glass trophy that says like thanks for the donation. Like, are you kidding me? It's just pure profit. It's ridiculous.
Well, because they use them in all kinds of. They call them cadaver ligaments and stuff. I'm sure they want all the knee ligaments out. Maybe that's the best way to save the knee ligaments is taking the bones out.
Yeah, I said I don't know what they do with them, but there's nothing left. But it's like filleting a body. If you ever filleted a fish,
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tom
Take
is
the bones out.
Tom is a world record skinner.
Yeah, I can skin a body pretty fast, guys. Every cadaver lab I was in, I don't even use scalpels.
You on a
I just
job
get
we're hiring?
right through. Yeah. I don't know if you got enough work for my speed. I'll be waiting on people to die. Come on, next. I gotta skin someone.
Well, Tom still has access to the cadaver lab too.
Yep.
Or so I've heard.
Everybody Chris knows has access to dead bodies. That's a stipulation for being his friend.
Yeah, Mike. You get dead bodies, can't you?
We got a haunted house idea, and we're gonna need the three of yous.
Really?
He needs a supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doc actually says he's making a Tom dummy for that. That'd be interesting.
I wonder what he's gonna do with it. 16.
I don't know.
All right.
I wanted to share this with you guys. Tom, you remember Karl Crew when he was on a while ago? His uncle actually coined the term Bigfoot.
Yep.
But his bar nightclub in Los Angeles has the body of Achilles Chantalou. He's 120 years old. He was a Shriner, a clown Shriner, but his body is full of arsenic. And you said back then that they used arsenic to fill a body. How many morticians died from using arsenic?
Right.
Yeah. Probably a lot.
Yeah, he gets Achilles. He gets it cleaned once a year. He's a very well maintained corpse. Do you ever do a service for like a clown that wants their makeup put on after they die?
I have.
Have you?
I've done one 30 years ago.
Pretty big in the clown world.
That was a fun funeral.
Was
And
it?
I don't mean that funny wise. It was a really nice celebration. Because we embalmed the guy, and then they came in and put his clown face on, and his whole outfit, big shoes, red nose. Everybody was dressed as a clown, and I learned how to blow up balloon animals. I had a great time at that funeral. That was a lot of fun. The clowns were the pallbearers were all clowns, and I know the Journal Sentinel was there, and they took pictures and things like that.
You know that
really good. It was a good funeral.
Professional clowns, they have a database of every clown's face, and no two clowns can have the same face paint.
I think they have to have their faces copyrighted, so you can't copy them.
Big ones too. Yeah, the professional ones. Well, really aren't any.
I mean, I'm assuming
anymore.
after a while, you're gonna kind of match somebody's face up.
Oh yeah.
That was a good funeral. That was a couple of hundred people. Didn't have any
All
like
clown.
little cars with a lot of people coming out of them, but other than that, everybody was dressed as a clown. Even in church, like I said, it was a pretty good. The funeral directors weren't clowns, or at least not dressed like one.
Yeah, you got to go to clown college. We had a guy on who failed clown college and had to redo it.
Where's Clown College? Is that in Baraboo?
I'm not sure where it is, but he
think
failed because he couldn't do the balloon animals.
You wouldn't believe how hard it is to blow those balloons up.
Yeah.
I almost blew out a lung trying to blow up one of those balloons. There's a trick to doing it.
Yeah.
And all the animals look the same anyway. You just got to learn how to twist them.
Yeah.
So we got a comment. Are you afraid of any diseases? We treat every single body like the person has some sort of diseases. There was a time where I was embalming and I cut the artery in the carotid and blood went into my mouth. So I got tested. Obviously, it came back negative. So now I wear full PPE, full face mask, everything like that. But yeah, we're like I'm terrified of catching a disease, but we use precautionary measures to make sure. Otherwise, there's a form called a NOR. It's a notice of removal, and typically, if there is any sort of diseases, they let us know on the removal. But yeah, otherwise, yes, I'm speaking on behalf of other directors, but yes, we are terrified of catching something. But
What
like
can
I
you
said,
catch?
we do
What
things
can you
to-
catch?
Yeah.
The prion diseases are kind of people don't like to get near anything or anybody that has one.
What kind of diseases?
The prion diseases.
Oh, yeah, because they're really contagious. But
Yeah.
for some reason, I tend to remember that we're not supposed to embalm those. You're not supposed to cut into them because of that disease. And again, what Chad was saying, there's a notice of removal. They're supposed to let you know what they have. That
Yeah.
isn't always the case.
No, because sometimes they give you the disease form and ask you to fill it out, and it's like, well, I'm just coming into this facility. How am I supposed to know?
Yeah, and if they die at home, a lot of places don't do that for them at home. I have no idea what I'm walking into.
Yeah,
So, Chad, we use universal precautions.
yeah. But you
Yep.
still people like it's rare, but like get needle pricks and
I've done that with an AIDS patient. I had to get tested, came back negative.
or they'll
I
get
no longer care.
Yeah. Accident.
I mean, with COVID, when it first came out, everybody had their undies in a bundle about what you could catch from our clients. I was never worried about COVID with the clients because nobody I've ever embalmed is breathing.
That's just it. You disinfect them right away, and
Right.
they're not
Mhm.
breathing.
And whether it's disc spray or bleach or something like that, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose like the death rattle can put put it in the air, but
What you do is you put a cloth over their mouth when you remove them, so you don't have any aerosol coming out of their nostrils or their mouth.
yeah.
Or you put them in a pouch,
Yep.
so they're not breathing on you.
Yeah.
I said years ago, and you guys are probably a little young, AIDS was huge when it first came out.
It's going to be one of my
Everybody
questions.
was paranoid about AIDS.
Yep.
And again, AIDS is one of the wimpiest viruses out there. Again, it's very hard to catch it. It's very easy to take care of it. It dies with bleach, a little bit of sanitizing and disinfecting, and you're fine. But you don't want to do what Chad do and shoot blood into your mouth. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Blood in the mouth, blood in the eyes, not optimal.
Bad, very bad.
Yeah. I mean, years ago,
More concerned with
embalmers, we
arthritis or
didn't wear
AIDS?
gloves. We didn't have eye protection. We didn't wear masks. You embalmed with your bare hands.
Or
Yeah,
even
and
doctors and surgeons. Doctors and surgeons didn't even have gloves. They didn't even wash
Right.
their hands. They just
And,
took their cigar out and
you know-
started cutting in.
yeah, and those guys all lived.
Yeah. Would you be more threatened by AIDS or hepatitis?
Hepatitis,
Hepatitis?
I would agree.
Yeah.
no doubt.
That's what I figured.
Tuberculosis on top of that.
Yeah.
Because the tuberculosis spores will live for weeks on surfaces that you don't even know are there.
Yeah, I've read about some diseases like I think even C. diff can live on surfaces for like 60 days or something crazy.
Yeah, I said tuberculosis would be my number one.
And,
Hepatitis, I'm not too worried about. AIDS, not anymore. I don't care about COVID.
yeah.
I've never had a Jakob Creutzfeldt or Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease person. That's never done one of those.
I've
That's
had
a
to
prion
pick them up,
disease.
but I've never had to embalm them. They've always been like direct cremations.
Yeah, that's what they should be. shouldn't be cutting into those people.
And when I was in school, like I remember Canada won't even embalm. What? I think it was maybe hepatitis bodies. Those are automatically direct cremations.
Are they?
I think
Yeah,
so.
could be. Well, Canada's all screwed up to begin with, so that sounds like something Canada would do.
Blame Canada.
Yeah, and Justin Trudeau, but I don't want to get political. That's for a different podcast.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced looking at a body that you thought you couldn't take care of it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Children, babies, young people.
Oh.
Definitely.
Yeah, the children are rough.
Yeah. I've never met an old person I didn't think I could take care of, unless they were, like Chad said, suicide, homicide, where half of the person is gone.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
Yeah, because as morticians, the first thing we do is we walk in and do the embalming analysis, and you kind of look at the different conditions and then kind of make plan. But other than that, like, yeah, the children are always rough because, just being young and,
Yeah, anything that's traumatic, car
Yeah.
accidents, anything like that where you just look like, wow, this is a mess. Where do I begin?
yeah,
Something like that, I would look and say, I don't know where to start, but
yeah,
normal, and I use the word normal, a regular person, they all embalm fairly regularly the same.
Or those summer bodies where they're 300 pounds and they are face down on the ground for 4 or 5 days, and
Oh yeah,
you know, you
have
gotta
to pick up with a shovel.
yeah.
Mhm.
You're exactly right. You don't know where to start.
Yeah, and you want to do a good job for the family, but some are beyond your control, beyond your expertise.
Mhm.
I'm not Jack Adams, so I don't think I can embalm them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, there are people out there that think they can embalm a piece of wood, and to me, there's got to be a limit as to what you can do and what you can be presentable with.
yeah.
So I think Jack Adams is kind of like the Zach Bagans of the mortuary world.
He's the Tiger Woods of.
The Tiger Woods, not the Tiger King.
No, definitely not the Tiger King. No, definitely not.
Yeah, that'd be a good documentary series.
I would like to embalm the Tiger King. I think that would be fun.
Oh, he's just getting
I'd make him
married.
look good.
He's getting married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
In prison, yeah.
To a guy or a
Somebody-
girl?
A guy.
Never mind.
Yep. It's a guy.
Of course.
Yeah. It's a dude. He
Only
lived it up for 2 years. He got all the sex out of his system, and he's ready to settle down. I mean, that had to be like Disneyland for the Tiger King, right? Everywhere he turns.
I don't know. I feel bad for all those tigers. I mean, it's from the show or whatever. It looks like he was just killing them left and right for no reason.
No, they had it coming.
They're fucking tigers, man.
There's a season 2 to that, and I haven't seen it yet. So now you
I haven't seen the first one.
You haven't
I'll
seen
pass.
it?
Talked about it
I'll
so
pass.
much. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Oh my God!
Through everybody.
I find that very hard to believe that you haven't seen the Tiger King. You of all the people that I know.
Should have.
I've honestly never seen it either.
No, me neither.
It's a train wreck.
Oh, it's fascinating.
It's like a car accident. You can't stop watching it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just the Tiger King; it's all the other characters
What
that are in
was
that.
it? Carol Baskin?
That bitch Carol Baskin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
There's Doc Antler. There's another Tiger King dude that collects tigers. He's just as batshit crazy as.
Didn't the girl get her arm bit off while filming the show and came back? to
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, she's like, well, it was my fault. I was asking for it. It ain't his fault. With her 3 teeth in her head. I was asking for it.
As a good embalmer, we should be able to put that arm back on.
At
We
least,
definitely could.
Wouldn't be able to use it anymore, but we could sew it right back on.
what position would you want your hand if you had to get it embalmed back on? Kind of like
Kung Fu
Lego
grip.
guy,
Kung Fu grip is universal.
Kung Fu grip.
Kung Fu grip.
I don't know, maybe the middle finger. I don't know how you didn't go.
You need to be able to type. I guess.
Yeah, no Kung Fu.
Why?
Right.
Everything's with an your iPads and all that. You can use voice recognition. You don't. Need
It's got to hold a can of soda.
There you go. You gotta be able to eat or drink.
Yeah, a glass standard. But then they'll probably
Two fingers
shrink
into a fork.
they'll shrink the can on you and only give you a 10 ouncer, and then now your hand's no good.
No, you'd have to make an adapter for your hands.
Yep. Or we'll switch to the metric system, and it's just got this goddamn. Still on ounces with this thing.
Well, all right. I think on that note, we better wrap things up.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. This is always fascinating and interesting.
Yeah,
Always-
woo, nice meeting you, Chad. Thanks to see. Nice to see you again, Dr. Death and Mike.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you guys.
Yeah, take care, Chad.
Yep.
Hey, which funeral home do you work for? And you just give me initials if you want.
Schmidt and Bartel.
You do work for S&B, okay.
Not a sponsor.